My Yamaha R1 CROSSPLANE is now officially a teenager. 13 years. A teenager with 34,000 miles, and he still stays out late at night. Our good friend the weatherman is predicting another beautiful, beautiful day. Absolutely beautiful. May even get a little hot in the afternoon and no chance of rain. So what'll really probably happen, it'll be cool and it'll rain by lunchtime. But either way, we're getting out on the open road. Now, I know a lot of people don't agree with what I do, but before I go out on a ride, and usually part of the reason is I'm riding alone. I don't want anything to fly off the bike, and because I didn't check it, and I don't want to try to take some kind of shortcuts. Like an example is not lubing a chain when it needs it, not cleaning the wheels when they need a cleaning, a really good cleaning, and every once in a while they really do need a cleaning. And some people don't do that, and I use chain wax religiously. I usually get pretty good life out of the chains. Not everybody does, and I'm always surprised when people tell me, "Oh, the chain's all rusty and oh, the bike's all dirty," and they enjoy that somehow. I don't know. Well, I don't, so there's no point even going there. But that Karen always has a list for me of what we need to do around the yard, around the house. There's always something. And that's what makes the ride itself even more enjoyable, because when I'm out on the road, I know I'm going to come home to a house with nice new flowers on the table and some tomatoes somewhere, and Arch tree is in full bloom here. It just couldn't be any nicer. But the price for that is just like the price of maintaining the bike. I've got to maintain the garden, water it, and keep the weeds. I know Luciano's not crazy about pulling weeds up. And feed the fish and all the other peripheral stuff. Let's go, boys. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. And never forget to feed the birds, or you're in big trouble. It is truly going to be a blue skies day. 0 chance of rain. I'll believe it when I see it. I have really become a skeptic during this summer. It's going to be a good day. Now, these carbon fiber muffler covers that I made, and these are not Yamaha parts. Yamaha does make some. They don't make them in twill, and they don't make them shiny. These came out real nice. One of the original parts I made for the motorcycle when I got it. Every time I stop to take a picture or video, I just look at the silver and blue combination, the Yamaha Racing Blue, and I think, wow, that is something I have really liked over the years. And I thought maybe I'd get sick of it after a couple of years. It has really stood the test of time. And I'm always amazed how one simple change, like changing the color of the wheels, changes the whole look of the bike. And I look back at the pictures of this bike when I bought it, when I had the flat black wheels, and I look at it now that I've got them in silver, and to me, it's not even close. It's night and day. Here's a little shout out to our friend Adam, who just got a Ninja 400. He's a relatively new rider. He put a comment up on the video how much he's enjoying the video. Well, enjoy it in good health and wear gear, ride safe, and become a real ninja. It was pretty funny. As I was shooting this picture, a cop pulled up, tried to see what I was doing. And I always think it's nice when somebody in a car or truck or or another motorcycle, and they see you on the side of the road taking pictures. Maybe they think you're broken down or whatever, and they stop to offer assistance or just to see how you're doing. And for all the people that have ever done that, and there's been many, one and all, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And we had a comment from a fellow named John on the video who has Pirelli Angels on his MT-09, and he's reporting that he's going to keep reporting what the mileage he's gotten out of him. I think he got 6,700 out of the rear, but we thank you for the data. And keeping track of the wear and the mileage on various sport bike tires is it's a big thing, because an awful lot of people, they think they're going to buy a set of tires that lasts X amount of miles, and in reality, if you ride aggressively, sometimes it can last a whole lot less, a whole lot. And as this day started heating up, I didn't expect it to get this hot. It got hot very quickly, which has been typical. And I've tried to spend a lot of it on the shady roads and a lot of it around the lakes in this area, and basically just to stay cool. And this is an '09, and that was the last year Yamaha made a bike this powerful without traction control and without ABS and without a quick shifter. But that's what kind of makes this bike nostalgic to ride. It reminds you of the good old days. And one of the things about this bike, I've got the ergonomics of it pretty well set up for me. I've got the pegs where I want them, and they are adjustable. And the bars, I've had several sets of bars and several seats and several pillions just to get it to where I'm happy with it. And I've got the forks lowered just enough on this bike that it takes a nice little, makes it a little more sensitive to steering and turns in a little quicker. And on these roads in this area, that really works well for me. And it's fully adjustable. Now, when I first bought this bike, the first thing I did, one of the first things, and it was in the middle of the winter when I got it, was wet sand all of the finish, get rid of all the decals, the stickers, wet sand it, and do a really, really quality buffing job, and it has stood that way 13 years. And I like to just park the bike in the brightest sun possible and look at the little pearl effect that's in that blue. Yamaha Racing Blue is such a nice color. And when I got the MT-09, I really went out of my way. I traveled 3/4 of the way down the state to get a blue one instead of the other color choices. Now, about the only thing I can't do up in this area, there's no real high-speed sweepers where you can feather in the last edge of the tire. We'll be getting that done very soon, I hope. We'll be riding up in New York State soon. Don't know when. We never plan more than one day ahead. But so far, the Pirelli Angels have had plenty of grip right to the edge. And really, the only negative thing I've experienced about the Pirelli Angels is they are a stiff carcass tire and they are a bear to mount by hand. I don't know. Luciano had trouble mounting them with his tire machine. And very stiff carcass tire. Oh, I try to add one bike to my collection that represents one every 10-year period. And this one I think is a pretty good representation of what sport bikes were back in that year of '09. And they've come a long way since then with more safety features. But this is still a cool bike to ride. Now, I had a comment on a video a while back that I answered, and the person said, boy, it looks at the video, it looks like it's very violent to ride these bikes. Well, when you ride them aggressively, any bike, it gets violent. It's more violent than you think it is just by looking at the video. It really is. But of course, it's all dependent on how you want to run a ride. The bumpiness of the road. Some people just like to stay out on a highway and cruise behind cars. This area that I picked where I ride is a little bumpy and it's very, very challenging. Now, I remember when my friend Scott in Kansas told me one of his friends put his bike up for sale and stopped riding. He said he just aged out. And he asked him how old he was, and he was 45. And he says, I got this friend in Jersey that's, he's in his 70s and he's still riding. And the guy didn't believe him. So I guess the answer is you age out when you age out, but I just turned 77 recently, and I don't plan on aging out soon, I hope anyway. But of course, sometimes you don't have any control over that. Mother Nature has a control over it. But we're fighting it right to the very end. But I am totally convinced the exercise you get riding, especially if you ride aggressively, and pushing a bike all around and in and out of the garage, I think that exercise and the mental exercise of trying to avoid trucks and deer and whatever, I think the combination of that really does have an effect of helping you stay young. We're going to find out. Anyway, time to head back to Karen, the farm, and the tomatoes. Another beautiful day. Just couldn't be nicer. The weather, we're really in the really best part of the riding season right now. And we have a bike that's always fun to ride, always enjoyable, rock reliable, and does not get 50 miles to the gallon. So I guess we're all on the same quest to have a good life, to stay healthy. try to stay young as long as possible, and most of my friends are doing a pretty good job of that by riding motorcycles and staying active and eating a lot of vegetables. That's one of the tricks of the trade. Not many tomatoes today. How are we supposed to make money with a tomato business?
We had a lot yesterday.
What do you got there? String beans? String beans and tomatoes. Life on the farm. So of course I try to stay as busy as possible. I've always got a lot of things cooking at the farm. I've always done a lot of work on my own house, mow my own grass, wash my own car, and do all the yard work and shovel all the snow, and so far that's worked out pretty well for me. But riding motorcycles as many days as possible, and I've basically gotten through the whole summer without missing. I don't think I've missed any days. Maybe I have, I just forgot it. But anyway, that being active is the best secret I could pass on to anybody I know. And having a lot of good friends and having a collection of motorcycles, they keep you up at night dreaming about them. And of course the big thing, riding them every day. And thanks so much for watching, and if you find the Fountain of Youth, please tell me where it is. I'm still looking.